In our next segment, we're talking about string functions. What we discussed so far was the fact that strings in Python are immutable, they're read-only. We talked about string concatenation, then we mentioned indexing individual characters. And here in our last example, we demonstrated substrings, that we can obtain substrings as a result of string slicing technique. So one more demo program here in week 4 folder that I have is called string functions. Again, I'm going to open this. Okay, and I'd like to mention that in Python, string is an object. This means that it is not a primitive data type like integer, but a complex object in computer memory that on one hand manages storage of individual characters put all together as a single string, and on the other hand provides different ways to manipulate text. This text manipulation is done by calling a collection, a set of built-in functions that come with each string. In online book chapter dedicated to strings, we have multiple examples of these functions, like converting text to uppercase, converting text to lowercase, searching for fragments of text, even splitting text into a set of multiple substrings based on specific delimiter. All of this are examples of string manipulation, and you should read the book and try as many as possible examples on your own to understand how these built-in functions work on strings. So let me share my screen again. And all strings, like I mentioned, all strings are objects of the str class in Python. We briefly talked about this at the beginning of our presentation about strings. But if we create this greeting, once more time, we say hello, and we print the type, there is a type function which can examine existing variable and tell us what Python thinks is the type of this variable. This will print class str if I execute this program. It's this class named str which is defining all of the built-in functions for us to use with strings. In many books and tutorials, built-in functions of objects are also called methods. For example, a tutorials teacher article, I have a reference to it here, and hopefully this is the correct URL. Let's try to open it. And so I would like to repeat that in many books and tutorials, built-in functions of objects are also called methods. For example, here in tutorials teacher article about strings, when you scroll down to the section about string methods, okay, so if I keep scrolling down this here, lots of very good examples. You should read this information, but here it refers to string methods. So I personally prefer to call them functions, but a lot of people almost exclusively call them methods. Here we have a nice summary of what can be done by calling these functions of the str object, which is Python string. What's really nice about this tutorial here is that, of course, each method comes with when you click on these links, it comes with good examples of calling these functions, and you can quickly copy and paste these examples in your own source window and try them on your own. Of course, you should start by reading the online book, but this resource here gives you an extended coverage of many individual methods inside string object, built-in functions, methods or built-in functions. It's really the same term, the same idea.